Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com.
Empaths, I don't know if everyone's going to understand what I mean. Now, I understand when you go through a ending of a relationship with a narcissist in your life, it can be hurtful, you can feel betrayed, you can feel broken to some degree. You can feel like they're on your mind constantly and things of that nature, right? But, for me, when I've dealt with narcissists in my life, there's a sense of relief that comes from being away from the relationships. Whether this is a friend, family member, colleague, romantic partner, associate, there's a sense of relief that comes just, even if it's ever so slight. Like, don't you feel a peace, amongst the chaos, right? Amongst the chaos and amongst the hurt that you're going through, you're grieving, right? You're going through the healing journey, right? But there's a sense of peace. Just, it's ever so slight initially, right? It's ever so slight, but there's a sense of peace. It's like you're free to do what you want to do. You're free to think what you want to think. And it's quite liberating, honestly, having this freedom back. Now, I'm not saying freedom so you can go to the bars and the clubs and go out in the town and, like, if that's for you, then you can do that. But I'm saying what I meant about peace and, like, freedom is, like, you just have you have you back, right? And it's ever so slight, right? And I know that many of you are accustomed to being in these relationships, perhaps for even long periods of time, right? Or you're used to having this person by your side or things of that nature. But once you overcome that initial comfortability, a lot of you just got comfortable in these dynamics, right? But there is a sense of relief, and I want you to search for that. If you can't, I reckon that most of you will be able to locate it to some degree, right? It will be invariant, strengths. But you'll notice that you have a sense of relief from this experience. It's like, it's over now. Yes. Like, it'll be a sense of relief, and, like, it could just be you waking up in the morning, right? You waking up in the morning and you don't have them calling your phone, or you don't have to see them at work, or you don't have to wake up next to them, or and you feel this relief from not having this presence, because this it's really oppressive. Their presence is really oppressive and draining, and honestly, like, many of you are going through the transition of realizing you're an empath, and I don't think that, when you're first awakening to being an empath and going through narcissistic abuse, you don't realize how important having your peace is, like, or just having some moments alone, just to collect your thoughts, be by yourself, wake up in the morning, have that coffee in the morning, or have that drink in the morning, and unwind and chill out for a bit, and, like, without having these distractions, Now, you've got to understand, I know that many of you are accustomed to being in constant communication with them, and I'll address that. I will address that, because that is a psychological factor that is within these messaging apps and social media and things of that nature. So please press the like and the subscribe button. Help the brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video showed up for you, help it show up for someone else in the community that it may be a benefit to. Remember, if you would like a one-to-one session with myself, you can always reach out and we can shed some light on your personal situation. The link is in the description box below. But these messaging apps, right, and social media and things like that, and even phone calls and things like that, what happens is, you know, when you're involved with a narcissist and you're having constant messaging or constant contact on social media, or, you know, they're on your phone or video calls or whatever, right? Psychologically, you get dopamine releases, and that your dopamine release is your reward system. All right, it's like you've accomplished something, so your body releases it's a hack. It's actually a hack. These companies that kind of that made these messaging apps or made these social media accounts, I'm going off topic, but there's a reason why I'm saying it, that made these social media sites or apps, or made these dating sites or whatever, right, made this electronical form of communication. They implemented like things within there. So like the way your notification goes off and the way that the color appears on your screen that you've got an unread message or things of that nature. And this triggers your reward system in your psyche, right? So you become dependent upon, forget the narcissist for a second. This could be anybody, right, that you're talking to. Like, basically, you're conditioned to this dopamine release that you feel rewarded by getting messages or getting, you know, contact on social media or whatever, right? And it's actually a hack by these industries that created this software. Okay, so what you got to understand is when you come out of a narcissistic relationship, yes, you might not have as many messages going back and forth, so you feel an absence from that. Yes, you might not have as much contact on social media with them, or they might not be liking your posts or whatever, and you'll feel an absence from that. But it's actually, from a higher perspective, from a bird's eye view of things, it's like you was these apps and social media made you into like a dopamine junkie, where you was chasing and pursuing this dopamine reward system, because it's a reward system. Dopamine's meant to be released when you do something, right? Like, and you're rewarded for it, you know? Like, you're meant to do stuff to be rewarded. And that's why, like, long-term goals are so much more satisfying than short-term pleasures. Because when you say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this by next year, I'm going to have this done, I'm going to have this done, I'm going to be at this target, you know, and you reach that target in a year's time, you'll get a dopamine release. And it's much more natural and satisfying than these immediate pleasures that you get off the messaging apps and the social media. Now, I know I'm going way off topic to the video, but just understand that you've been conditioned to be like this with these narcissists involved in your life, right? They've conditioned you to be like this. So you have these kind of triggers, and that's why you might not notice what I'm talking about, you know, feeling some kind of peace from the relationship and the escape of the relationship. And that's why, if it's ever so slight, please focus on that peace, and it's going to grow more and more with time. You know, you'll train your brain not to be used to these dopamine releases that you were getting exchange for messages from them or social media communication. You'll be conditioned. You'll start to train your brain to get away from these dopamine releases. And that's basically a lot of what you miss from the narcissist that is involved in your life, is these dopamine releases, that this reward system that you used to have when you used to have contact with them, right? So please search for that peace that you find within yourself. It will be ever so slight, you know, but focus on that peace, because you do have it. And you know, this proves to you that you haven't actually lost anything. You know, if their absence has brought you some kind of peace, you haven't actually lost anything. You haven't actually lost anything at all. And it's just, even if it's ever so slight, the peace, you know, even if it's just ever so slight, you haven't actually lost anything at all. And please try to look for it. Try to look for that peace, right? Even if it's conflicting with you missing them and things like that. Remember what I said about the social media and the social media and the messaging and all of that. This is giving you a dopamine release. That's our feel-good hormone. That's our reward system. That's our feel-good hormone. So you're addicted to that feel-good hormone that was being provided by this technological software, with the phones and the computers and the laptops and whatever, and these social media and messaging apps and things like that, right? That's why you haven't actually lost anything. You know, you haven't actually lost anything. You know, enjoy the silence, enjoy the space, and try to focus in on that peace that you feel. Even if it's just a moment that you feel that peace, or you feel a sense of that peace, try to focus in on that and strive with that, because that is your proof. That is the real you. That is the real empath in you that needs that alone time, that needs that space. And as you might just be awakening to being an empath, you'll realize, as the more and more you go through this healing journey, how important it is that you actually have that peace. And future relationships you enter in, you'll actually have boundaries up where you keep that peace. You know, you actually be in a functionable relationship, but you'll keep that peace with you at all times. So anyway,
Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel. Links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about To the Narcissist, You as a Shoulder to Cry On, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.